Well, here we are on the road to 50 million. Good to see you. I'm excited. Today I want to talk about singing. And this funny picture behind me, this guy is deep in thought, right? Here's the question. What is your song? And it's a little bit metaphoric. Maybe you sing, maybe you don't. Maybe you sing really well. Maybe you sing in a band and you've made a million records. I don't know. Or maybe you don't sing at all. I have a met all kinds of people as a choir director in both the community and church and that kind of thing. I've had all kinds of experience with people who say they can sing and people who say they can't sing. Also, being in a very large choir that was very, very good, made several records, and the records were classical in nature, classical music, but the records were fabulous. And some of the albums we released charted up on billboards, number one on Billboard for classical releases when we released them. So that was exciting. But my question is more, what's your song? What is that thing that you, or thing or things that you have inside of you that's important to share? And sometimes when I talk about gifts and talents, people get the idea that you have one or maybe two things and you have one mission and you're supposed to do this big search to find this purpose. You know what? We live in this moment right now. And for fun, you've heard this before. I define a moment as 8 seconds, 8.64 actually. And it's kind of funny how I got there. Why a moment's 8 seconds, and I'll go through it again. If you've heard this, bear with me. There's 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour, and 24 hours in a day. So if you multiply 60 times 60, you get 3,600. And if you multiply that times 24, you get 86,400. So that means there's 86,400 seconds in every day. And I thought, well, how do we get that to some number that means something? And here's how I did that. I said, well, I thought there should be 10,000 moments in a day. And so I divided 10,000 into 86,400, and that's 8.64 seconds. Anyway, that's just a fun thing. The truth is, we live our lives in this present moment. And Joy and I, after church today, we went for a little ride. We usually drive around for a few minutes after church, just talking about what we learned maybe and what's going on for the day and what's coming up for the week. And we just take that maybe half an hour as time together. And one of the things that occurred to me today is I've lived like this. I've spent so much time and energy thinking about planning for what's coming. So setting a goal that, like, for example, we have a real one this summer. Sometime by September, hopefully, 1st of October, we're going to move from where we are in Edmonton over to Vancouver Island. And we're looking forward to that because we're tired of these cold winters and we just think it'd be fun. Besides that, Vancouver Island's a beautiful place. It's funny, I told somebody about that the other day and they said, we got that. Vancouver Island's got frozen temperatures. And it's true, Vancouver did get a big snow dump this winter. And it about shut the town down because they didn't know what to do with snow. At least that's what I heard. I wasn't there. But anyway, we're still looking forward to it. But my point is this. We had a goal. We have a goal. It's gonna be to do that. And in the past, I've always had those goals, like that are a month or 6 months or a year out. And then everything's organized around those. And when things don't go right, it gets a little off-putting. And I thought, I live in this small window. I define it as a moment, 8 seconds. You can define it any way you want. But right now, as I'm talking to you, I've got a little clock running over here so I can kind of keep track of how long I'm talking. And if it goes 8 seconds, it starts there and it goes. And wow, there it is. That's about half of it. And that's all there is. There's this time right here, right now. And I certainly love setting goals and have plans to make things happen. But I'm wondering if we spend so much time worrying about whether or not the goals that we have are on track or off track that we miss this moment. So that's tying back to what I wanted to say right now. What is your song? Maybe the most important thing we can do is to live in this moment here. Like I'm with you right now, and this is the only thing I'm doing. Me and my buddy back here, right? Me and my buddy, we're with you here, and that's all we're doing. And right now, I'm encouraging you with all my heart to look in your heart and see what your life is about. Maybe right now it's about raising your kids if you have them. Maybe it's about building a legacy. Maybe it's about writing a book or a course. Maybe it's about getting yourself happy. Maybe you're not living in a place of really joyful happiness right now. And what I realized as I sat and thought in church today is that I'm living in the most wonderful circumstance I can have. I couldn't even imagine anything more beautiful. I have music I get to do. I get podcasts to do. I have beautiful clients, people that I talk to. I'm living a dream of helping people find their gifts, helping you find your gifts and then use them to serve, to build a business, to make money, to do whatever you want to do. And it's more fun than I know what to do with. So when I thought about it, I think that our best opportunity is to, I point up here because the title of my thing, I always put it above the video so I can remember, so I can always remember. But it's to sing the song you came to sing. So what is your song? Do you have a song of love? Do you have a song of compassion? At earlier times in my life, I've had a song of greed and a song of more money. Excuse me. And a song of all kinds of other things. And now my only song is a song of love, a song of invitation, a song of compassion, a song of encouragement. The song I have is one of helping every single person. And right now, you are in front of me to help you realize how important you are. You're a divine, holy being. You were created intentionally and given gifts and talents and called to use those to serve everybody around you. So after church today, the lady who directs the singing, I play the organ, and she came up and said that she'd been asked to start a choir in our congregation and wanted to know if I'd help by playing, and also because she knows I've had a ton more musical stuff, directing choirs and stuff than she has. And so I said yes. And so there's another opportunity. And that's not going to build any business, and it's not going to do any of those things, but it is an opportunity to love and serve. So my question for you is, what are your opportunities to serve right here, right now? What is the song that you have to sing? My road to 50 million is a commitment I made. And you know what? I'm looking at the calendar and I'm thinking the first quarter of my year, I gave myself a year to reach 50 million people. And that's a lot of people. But I gave myself a year to do that. And it started October 14th. And January 14th is the end of first quarter. And so somebody asked me the other day if I was at 12 million, 12 and a half. And I'm thinking, well, it's going to be a little bit exponential, not linear, because I have to build this audience and I have to build these invitations. So here's what I have to do that with. I have a podcast called Your Ultimate Life. If you'd like to spread your message and the heart that you have on my podcast, I want to hear from you. I have a new thing I'm starting on the 16th, which is a week from Tuesday, on LA Talk Radio. Now, that's one of the biggest talk radio stations in the world. And I was on there for a year and a half before, back in 2013 and 14, but I'm starting again next week on Tuesday the 16th, a live 1 hour interview with somebody. And I'm going to start that next Tuesday. If that's something you want to do, if you have a message, if you want to sing your song, then I want to talk to you. Because my goal of helping 50 million people to discover and serve with their gifts means you, meaning I want to help you serve with your gifts. That's what I'm about. My goal is to help 50 million people discover and serve with their gifts. And that means I'm inviting people to talk to me about the show. I have a television program Wow. I have this daily thing. I'm going to start inviting guests on here pretty soon. I have a podcast, I have an LA Talk radio show, and I have a TV show. So there's all kinds of ways that I have to help people who want to share their gifts, to sing the song they came to sing. And in that process, some of the other things that happen is people tell me, well, they're afraid and they don't have anything to say and they don't know how and all that. And we can fix all that. That's why I love this kind of coaching, because the coaching I do is about helping you realize how important and powerful you are. So I go back to the question. Whoops, I keep pointing the wrong way. This side, this side. What? There's the thinker. What is your gift? What is your song? What is the song you came to sing? Will you tell me? Will you share it with me? Will you let me help you spread it and work to create whatever you want out of it? A couple of episodes ago, we talked about creating business, creating cash, creating money. That's all possible too. Like there's so many people that are talking about making a living doing what you love. It's so easy to do that. It used to be way harder than it is today. It is so easy to make that into a business if you want to. Books, programs, courses, places to speak, all that kind of stuff. And that's one of the reasons I started all these platforms, is to give you a place to spread your message. Anyway, what is your song? Do you know? Do you have the courage to spread it? Are you ready to make the difference you want? Maybe you already are. Maybe you're already just living a life that's exactly like you want. And you know what? If you are, I want to talk to you also, because I just absolutely love expanding the number of people I know that are doing that. You have every capability. I know the world's going crazy and there's all kinds of crazy stuff going on between wars and pandemics and everything else. Even with that, there's never been a bigger need to sing the song you came to sing. If you like, I'd love to help. You're invited. Don't be afraid. I need to hear your song, your melody. In fact, one of my phrases says, I am music. I'm reminded of that song. I am music. I write songs with lyrics of love, melody of magic, and harmony of hope. I like that. That was fun. Anyway, I'm inviting you to join me. I can't wait to meet you tomorrow on the road to 50 million.